Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, time for the Year of the Wolf, another update. So I have to be totally honest, I haven't really done anything since the last video, except I have been thinking quite a lot. So if you did watch the last video, I basically said that I'm going to be painting my Wulfen next. I've got 23 models in total, all the old models. And I was considering what to do with them, whether to convert them or whether to keep them as they are, think of a way to proxy them, etc, etc. I wasn't quite sure what to do. So I had some fantastic feedback, so thank you everyone to all the feedback. And I also had some offers as well for some bits. So first of all, I want to do just a few shouts. So the first shout is going to be for Warforge, who, not on this occasion, but in the past, previously, sent me a few Wulfen bits that he had left over, just out of the blue, because he knew, obviously, I had the Space Wolves army. So Warforge, thank you so much for that. Link in the description below, of course, to everyone that I mentioned here. So Chris, first of all. Second is to Scrag Guard, who, when he came round to play a game with me recently, brought some Space Marine, Thunderhammer and Storm Shields. Scrag, really appreciate that, thank you. Also to Emperor's Path from Sam, who offered to give me some Space Marine Thunderhammer Storm Shields as well. He didn't have any Space Wolves ones, but he did offer to give me some Space Marine ones. So Sam, thank you for that, my friend. And lastly, probably the biggest shout of all, to be fair, is to James from Sage Studios, who, after I put out a Facebook message asking for some Space Wolf bits, got in contact with me and sent me a huge bag from the Sage Studios back room of Wulfen bits, which is awesome. Now, although that's fantastic, it isn't enough, to be honest with you. I've only got 3 Storm Shields in total. I need more Storm Shields. So if there's anyone out there who has some Space Wolf bits still, I'm still after them. I know Methos, he's going to be sending me some, so I'm not quite sure what he's going to be sending me. That may actually be enough to push me over the edge of having enough bits. Yeah, stay in contact if you've got anything. Right, okay, so that's out of the way. As I said, links in the description below, go and check them all out. Right, next, I had to make a decision on what to do, and I have now finally made the decision. I'm really happy with what I'm going to do, and I thought I'd update you on it. So, yeah, 23 models, let's just say 20 models. The plan is I am going to keep 10 models as they are, original models, and I'm going to convert 10 models. I think that's a sensible way to go. Now, I've been told that the best way to arm up the wolves is with 2 Thunderhammer Storm Shields, with 2 claws, and with 1 of the hammer. Can't remember what it's called now, but the specialist hammer that strikes at normal initiative for the first round. So I've been told that's how to arm them up. Now, if you disagree with that, please let me know, because I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts. It sounds good to me. It's a nice mixture of weapons. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to make 2 units of 10, but I'm not going to make 1 unit converted and the other unit not converted. I'm going to have 5 converted and I'm going to have 5 not converted, because I'm doing 13th company, I have no vehicles, I can't get into a land raider, trundle across the board. I am walking across the board. So my idea is that the models that I'm not going to convert are going to be cannon fodder. To be fair, they're still pretty good in close combat, and they've got 2 wings each, etc, etc, even without any upgrades. But yeah, they're going to be at the front of the unit, and they're going to help my converted guys, the 5 guys, get into close combat with all of their specialist weapons. Now that makes that unit 400 points. It's an expensive unit, but to be fair, the army's fluffy, and it's not optimal by any means. So if I'm running across the board with a 400 point unit, I'm running across the board with a 400 point unit. At the end of the day, I think anyone who sees 10 Wulfen charging at them is going to think twice about target priorities, and if anything, it might help my grey hunters survive more, who are also walking across the board. And of course I'll be flooding the table with 30 Vanrisian wolves at the same time. So that's the plan. It doesn't mean that exactly what I'm going to use it on the table, but I'm figuring I'm going to do 2 units of 10, 5 of them converted, 5 not. And then I'll end up with 10 converted, 10 not at the end, with 3 spare models, which are these 3 just down the side. So what I've done is I've pulled all the bits out that I think I'm going to use for the conversions, yeah, let's have a closer look at that. So just see if I can zoom in a little. Right, so at the front there we've got 2 Storm Shield Thunderhammers. Now I have a slight problem, not a problem, but a slight issue that I feel is an issue anyway, is that the Thunderhammers have almost like human hands on. They're not wolf hands, and these Wulfen models are pretty wolfy. You know, they're not like the new ones where they're sort of half turned. You know, these are fully turned. These are werewolves basically. So it looks silly having a human hand. So I don't know if you can see, I've pulled out one of the little wolf hands which comes with the Wulfen kit, and I'm going to have to cut off the hand that's on that Thunderhammer, probably remodel in the grip that's there with some green stuff, and I'm going to somehow try and fit that hammer into this wolf hand. I think it's the only way forward. So I've got that one there, and I've done exactly the same with this one. So of course I've selected 5 different models to have the different weapon options, so they're not duplicated. And again, this guy's going to have his hand cut off as well to get the hammer in. And then we'll just move these out of the way. And then behind we've got this guy here. He's going to be my wolf guard, not wolf guard, but he's going to be the pack leader. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be taking pack leader. I probably will. It makes it initiative 9. Leadership 9, which is very useful, and you get +1 attack as well. So all of my leaders in the Space Wolf army have this backpack, whereas the other guys just have a normal backpack. So he will be denoted as the leader with the backpack, and then he's going to have some claws there, so I'm going to cut them off and put the claws on. So that is him. And then the other guy here, he's again going to have some claws. He's got a Chaos backpack because of course 13th Company have Chaos armour. And then finally, right at the back, this guy here, which is one of my old conversions, he is going to have this Chaos axe, and then that's going to be one of the specialist axe weapon. Now he is holding a gun, as you can see. But I've been doing some reading. I've been reading the new fluff, and I've been reading the old fluff. Now in the old fluff, it says about its weapons in the codex under the listed stats of the Wulfen pack weapons. It says, though some Wulfen may still bear the remnants of their former weaponry, they use their savage claws in close combat, which are counted as 2 close combat weapons included in the profile above. So, you know, they're holding guns, but they're not actually using guns. And you know, some of the models here do actually have a gun. So I thought, well, I'm just going to stick with that. So although that is obviously a 2-handed axe in terms of its stats, obviously that's how I will play it, of course. I think I'm just going to leave him like that because I think it looks pretty cool. I've already converted him, and you know, I thought, why not? So he's going to be the guy with the special axe. Right, so that is my thoughts. Of course, I've still got some conversions to do. Actually, there was one last thing. So I've got these bits here, which I'm assuming is the auto launcher, the piece of war gear that lets you assault through terrain at normal initiative. So basically a frag grenade. but I'm not really sure exactly where it goes, so I could do with some help. I'm assuming it either goes on the backpack or maybe just dangles down on the belt. I'm not sure. It's got like a section on the back where obviously it pushes onto something, but I'm not really sure what. So if you know the answer to that, then I would really appreciate some assistance on that. I'm thinking I'm going to give the 5 guys that are converted all of these auto launchers, and obviously the cannon fodder guys are not going to have it. So it's only 10 points, but half of the unit will at least have the grenades. So there should be at least one model surviving with one of these launchers, so they can strike at obviously normal initiative. So yeah, that's it really for the update. So of course I've got some work to do now, because now I've got a plan. I've got to put that plan into action and actually start cutting up these models and getting some conversions done. So I will be back as soon as I've done that. I have a plan to enter Jamjar 34's Achievable April, which I'm really looking forward to. So basically it's a painting challenge, get something painted in April. Now I have a game against Aceface coming up in May, and I really want to use some Wulfen. So I'm going to attempt to paint some Wulfen up in April. I'm not going to paint 20. I'm definitely going to paint 5, the converted ones. To be fair, I'll probably put 10 on the bench and see how I get on. Because the good thing about the Wulfen is it's not actually that much armour, because there's quite a lot of fur and stuff, which hopefully should be a bit easier to paint. Anyway, we will see. Right, that's it for this update. Thanks very much for staying to the end. If you did, I know it was a bit of a ramble, but it's just me really getting my head together on what to do with these models. Now I know, going to get converting, and I'll be back when it's all done. Thanks for watching.